Hello friends, I'm George, the nice smelling gentleman. Welcome back to the channel guys, I hope that all of you are doing well. A lot of people find oud-based fragrances quite challenging and hard to wear. And that's understandable because notes like Agarwood and Oud, can be they're so unique that can be challenging for sure. But in today's video I'm going to show you a clone fragrance from the house of Fragrance World that actually is very easy to wear. Agarwood based fragrance that's very easy to wear. The fragrance is called Oud Wonder, and this fragrance is a clone of Tom Ford's Oud Wood. And as I said, this is a nice sort of a stepping stone into the world of oud based fragrances. First I'm going to quickly show you the packaging and the bottle design of Oud Wonder from the House of Fragrance World. The fragrance comes packaged in this sort of a dark grey colored box with silver accents. On the front you get the name of the fragrance, the concentration, EDP. On the top you get some Fragrance World branding. On the back some additional information, a sticker of authenticity. And on the bottom there's a production date which reads February of 2024, so a pretty recent bottle. The packaging is pretty similar to what you get with the original fragrance. And then this is how the bottle looks, again almost identical to what you get with the original Oud Wood from Tom Ford. The cap is plastic, sort of a snug fit, although I wouldn't recommend picking up the bottle through the cap, and the bottle size here is 80 milliliters. When it comes to the note breakdown of Oud Wonder from Fragrance World, I wasn't able to find sort of a real note breakdown. What I was actually able to find is just a bunch of notes that are listed, and I'm going to go through them quickly. Fragrance notes: Agarwood, Brazilian rose oud, sandalwood, cardamom, vanilla, Sichuan pepper, vetiver, tonka bean and amber. Before I show you the sprayer and I talk about the scent of Oud Wonder from Fragrance World, I have a question for you guys. What are your feelings about oud-based fragrances? What have been your experiences with this type of scents? Do you find them challenging? Do you enjoy them? And what are your most favorite oud-based fragrances, especially Agarwood-based fragrances? Please use the comment section down below this video to let me know. And now onto the sprayer and the scent of Oud Wonder. The sprayer is actually very decent, puts a good amount of juice out. And now onto the scent of Oud Wonder. Initially after spraying, what I get out of this fragrance is a ton of spiciness. The cardamom note is pretty strong in the opening here. It's also a bit peppery, maybe down to that Sichuan pepper or whatever kind of pepper note they're using with this fragrance. Also I pick up a hint of something fresh, like a touch of bergamot, something citrusy that just adds a little bit of a freshness in the opening of this fragrance. Also quite a lot of ambery sweetness right immediately after I spray this, and on the background in the opening is the Agarwood note, which is the backbone of this fragrance. It's pretty much what this fragrance is all about. So the opening is spicy, like a hint of citrusy freshness, the Agarwood note is there, and quite a lot of sweetness from the amber note. When this fragrance goes into the dry down, you lose some of that, all of that freshness. You lose almost all of that spiciness from the opening, and the dry down becomes more oody. The Agarwood starts to become a lot stronger on the dry down, and also this fragrance becomes quite a lot sweeter. The amber note gains strength on the dry down. That vanilla note that's listed in here, although I think it's more of a support player, but that just adds a little bit more sweetness. I pick up a hint of incense on the dry down, and maybe like a touch of leather as well. All in all, Oud Wonder from Fragrance World is pretty nicely done. It's like a sweeter take on your usual, Agarwood based fragrances. I've been really enjoying this scent, and as a whole, I've really been enjoying, Agarwood based fragrances done in this pretty similar way. It's a nicely done, Agarwood fragrance that's very easy to wear because it's, pretty much, it's toned down to a designer level, let's call it that. When it comes to how close this fragrance is to the original scent, I think this is less spicy compared to the original, and it's definitely sweeter. Now, if you are familiar with the way that Oud Wood from Tom Ford smells, and you smell Oud Wonder, you'll immediately pick up that this is cloning that scent that it's been heavily inspired by, but it's not a one-to-one clone. When it comes to performance, Oud Wonder has been a pretty decent performer. I've been getting about 7 hours of performance, total performance out of this fragrance, with pretty loud projection in the first about 1.5 hours. The total performance is pretty similar to the original fragrance from Tom Ford, but I think Oud Wonder is definitely projects harder compared to Oud Wood from Tom Ford, and that's one area where this is better than the original fragrance. So performance wise, it's above average. When it comes to the price tag, this has been a pretty cheap fragrance for me. I paid I think slightly less than 20 euros to get Oud Wonder, and considering that you're getting a nice packaging, fragrance that has been done pretty nicely, you get pretty decent performance and something that will get you somewhat close to the original fragrance at that price point. I think it's a pretty decent deal. And when it comes to versatility, it's definitely a fragrance that's more orientated towards the colder months of the year, more of a nighttime scent, and definitely this is a masculine leaning fragrance. And so on to my final thoughts about Oud Wonder from the House of Fragrance World. It's a very interesting take on the DNA of Tom Ford's Oud Wood. It's not a one-to-one clone, it's not a straight-up clone, it's more like an inspired by fragrance, but definitely will get you somewhat close to the original fragrance, and in my opinion this is even a little bit easier to wear because of the amount of sweetness that it has, that's been used in this fragrance compared to the original fragrance. To the original scent. It's a sort of an easy way to get into the world of oud based fragrances, Agarwood based fragrances. It's a like a designer level oud based fragrance. It's nicely done. You get a nice scent profile, nicely blended. You get pretty decent performance. You get nice, nice package. Probably the only con of this fragrance that I could point out is the bottle size, which is 80 milliliters. I've always liked fragrances that come packaged in a 100 milliliter bottle size. So if you're looking for an easy to wear clone or like an inspired by version of Tom Ford's Oud Wood, then definitely Oud Wonder from the House of Fragrance World deserves some attention in my opinion. As I said, I think this is easier to wear compared to the original fragrance. But again, I just want to point something out just to make something clear. This is a clone fragrance that usually costs about 1/10 of the price of the original scent, so don't expect this to have the same quality as the original. Just keep that in mind, keep your expectations at check. With that aside, I think Oud Wonder is a pretty decent fragrance that even outlasts a little bit, outperforms a little bit the original fragrance. But again, this is an Agarwood based fragrance, so it's not easy to wear, although it's easier to wear compared to the original scent. And I strongly advise you to first try and sample Oud Wonder before actually committing to a full bottle. Although this fragrance gets a like from me because I've been really enjoying this type of scents lately. So guys, in today's video I showed you an interesting take on Tom Ford's Oud Wood DNA that comes from the House of Fragrance World, and it's called Oud Wonder. In my opinion, this is an easier to wear fragrance compared to the original. I hope that you found this video interesting. If you did, give it a like, and I also hope that you're going to join me in the next one. And until then, stay safe and bye bye.